That was a Duke Ellington composition entitled Happy-Go-Lucky Local. A happy-go-lucky local is a train that picks up passengers at many different stops, but still continues rambling down the tracks in a swinging tempo. You may wonder, what could this possibly have to do with a big band? Well, the big band is also a train running down the tracks, going this way and then that way, but always moving forward, taking you from where it's been to where it's going. Sometimes we can hear the chugging of the engine and the bumping of the cars rolling over the track. The train is taking something where it needs to go, and when the whistle blows, everyone knows what's coming their way. Now, if we listen closely, we heard two sounds. One is the rhythm sound, ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. The other is the train whistle sound, whoo, whoo. The jazz band is divided into two sections. The rhythm section for the rhythm sound and the horn section for the horn sound. The rhythm section is the engine, wheels, and the mechanics of the train. And the horn section is the whistle. Not one whistle, but a bunch of different whistles. They all make different sounds. The rhythm section, piano, bass, and drums, makes the jazz band move just like the engine and wheels move the train. They work together. In a jazz band, the motion of them working together is called swinging. Now, if the engine and the wheels break down, there's no way in the world the train is going to move. The rhythm section is the heart of a jazz band, and if it stops playing, believe me, eventually the band is going to have to stop too. Now we're going to listen to the individual members of the rhythm section. You know that when a train moves forward, the wheels are constantly turning. And when the jazz band plays, the bass line constantly moves. As a matter of fact, a lot of the terms we use when we talk about the jazz bass imply motion. For example, we say the bass walks. If we're playing a shuffle, we say it shuffles, it struts, it runs, and so on. Let's hear how a bass walks. We're going to check out some straight walking bass. No added swing, just a regular walking bass line. But we wouldn't want to walk, march, or run in that very straight and ordinary fashion all the time. Oh no, we get tired of that. To play jazz, we take something ordinary and make it special or hip, and we do that by putting our personality into it. It's like the difference between printing and handwriting. Every page of print looks the same. Your handwriting, though, that has your personal stamp. That page could only belong to you. Now we're going to hear what it sounds like when Mr. Rodney Whitaker puts a little more personality into his walk, a little more charisma in his step. We've heard about the bass walking and strutting, shuffling, marching, jumping, and hopping and everything. Another thing that a bass can do is play what we call an ostinato, a short theme that's repeated over and over again. Let's listen to this ostinato. Let's see if you all can sing this ostinato.
Boom, bing, bing, 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 boom.
The second part of the rhythm section is the drummer. His name is Mr. Herlin Riley. The bass functions as the wheels of the train, but the drums are the train's engine. The drummer conducts the jazz band. A great drummer can make a sad band sound good, but a sad drummer can make a great band sound quite sad. Drums provide intensity and fire, pushing the band forward. It's also the most powerful instrument in the band. The drum set is the only instrument created by jazz musicians. The other instruments in the jazz band, the trumpet, the piano, saxophone, bass, all of them existed long before jazz. Now, drums existed and drum ensembles existed, but the particular set of drums comprised of drums and cymbals was invented for jazz. Without the drums, the big band is lost. Here are the parts of the drum set. First, we have the sock cymbal that keeps the pulse and provides brilliant crescendos. Then we have the crash cymbal, which is powerful and shocking. The ride cymbal provides continuity and also balances with the bass. You know, the bass is going boom, 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 ba-doom, boom, beam, ba-doom. Now on the high end, the ride cymbal is going ding, 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 ding. So they form like a sandwich. The lower piece of bread is the bass, and the top piece of bread is that ride cymbal, and everything the horns play is in between, like some bacon or something, or whatever you like to have on your sandwich. Next, we have the snare drum, and the snare drum is used for accent and power. A snare drum will catch your attention and hold it. The bass drum is for thunder and for a low reinforcement of the bass. Then we have different pitched tom-toms to add to the coloration and melodic range of the drums. We could also have cowbells and a lot of other things that can be struck at will to spice up the groove a little piece, give it some diversity. The drums can be played with sticks or brushes. So far we've been hearing them played with sticks. Now listen to what the drums sound like when it's played with brushes. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Now it's time for us to become the drum set. Let's divide the class into 3 sections. The first section is going to be our sock cymbal. The second section is going to be our ride cymbal. And the third section is going to be our bass drum. Okay, here's our sock cymbal. Now let's hear the ride cymbal. Now here's our bass drum. Let's try it all together. Herlin will start us off, and then you all keep going till you get tired of swinging. One person has to do all of that all the time. So you can see that playing the drum set is not an easy thing at all, brothers and sisters. Not an easy thing at all. We've said that the jazz band is built for motion, just like the train. And when the train is in motion, we call it moving or speeding. When the jazz band plays, that motion is called swinging. And we try to make something ordinary sound special or hip by putting our personality in it. We make the motion of the band hip by being coordinated or in sync. Hipness is simply a matter of coordination. It's like a good dancer. Once you get coordinated with yourself, you achieve an even higher degree of hipness when you become coordinated with others. In a jazz band, we're always trying to be more coordinated with each other without sacrificing our originality, not just rhythmically. We want to coordinate our horn whistles. We also want to coordinate everything. So when the bass walks and the drum plays that ride cymbal in sync, we call the conversation swing. Another important aspect of the coordination required to swing is playing in balance. Balance means that you can't play too loud. We wouldn't sound good if our sock cymbal was real loud and our ride cymbal was really soft and the bass drum was even louder than everything. That would be like trying to have a conversation in which everyone just talks at once. Whoever shouts the loudest might be heard over the din, but in order to hear what everybody is saying, we have to balance the talking and the listening. The musicians in the jazz band strive to balance things out so that everyone can be heard. Let's listen to the bass and the drums swing in balance. When the drum rides and the bass walks, you are swinging. Earlier we heard an example of ostinato, the short repeated phrases played on the bass. When the bass player plays an ostinato and the drummer plays set rhythms with the bass, that's called a groove. Now we're going to construct a groove. We'll need to divide the class into two sections this time. The first section is going to be our basses, and you're going to sing this.
Boom, 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 boom.
The second section will be the drums, and this is what we're going to do. Both of these together
Boom, 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 boom.
that's called a groove. Let's keep it going.
Boom, 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 boom.
Now let's hear the band groove. This is a Duke Ellington composition entitled Limbo Jazz. The third instrument of the big band's rhythm section is the piano. The piano is the body of the train. It keeps everything together, makes it feel and sound right. It can play the lowest and the highest notes in the band. Sometimes he plays them together, Well, he can actually play a lot of notes together. The trumpet can't do that. The drums can't do it. The bass can only play 1 or 2 notes at a time. The pianist, however, can play the bottom of the piano exactly like it's the bass of a train. Or he can play the piano so percussively that it sounds like a set of drums. As a matter of fact, the piano is actually in the percussion family. We've said that to play jazz music, you take something ordinary and make it hip, and that extreme hipness is when you're very coordinated with a lot of other people. Here's a recognizable melody that Fareed is going to play on the piano. This is what happens when he gives it a little hipness. And this is what happens when he makes it sound extremely hip by conversing with the other members of the rhythm section. So let's listen to the engine, the wheels, and the body of the train, the drums, the bass, and the piano. The rhythm section of the big band.